you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family.
Hello and welcome back to Marvelous Videos. In this video, we explore the world of Addams, the satirical comedy series created to portray the inversed American household. Designed by Charles Addams, or Chaz Adams as he would like to be called, this series of comedies came into life in the 1930s. Fun fact, did you know that the Addams Family began as a single-panel cartoon in the New Yorker? Readers were drawn to Charles Addams' dark humor, and the Addams Family was formed. However, at this point, most characters didn't have names, and only a basic prototype was made. So let's check out this spooky crew one by one. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
Don't make me come up there!
Gomez Adams. Gomez Adams. What about this typical short and plump man? Except he is not so typical after all. He's the patriarch of the Addams family and has enjoyed cigars ever since he was 5 years old. He isn't brilliant, considering that he's an accomplished juggler and knife thrower, and would literally stop in between something vital if he saw a train wreck toy. He's that guy, but of course, he is fortunate. So much so that his toy lover has businesses worldwide. If he has a gut feeling about something, he invests instead of applying some strategy. And that business flourishes too. Gomez is the 5th richest TV character according to Guinness World Records of 2008. This short man had a net worth of over $8.2 billion. But things weren't always this easy for Gomez. As a child, he was perennially sick and often had health-related issues. He was voted as most likely to never pass the bar by other students when he was studying law. He never won a case, but never lost one either. As Grandma Addam would say, as he sent the criminals, he was the defense attorney off to jail. Things were complicated for Gomez, but everything turned bright for him when he met Morticia, the love of his life. Mortia Adams. Mortia Adams is a skinny and slender woman who supposedly uses baking powder on her face instead of actual makeup. She's pale, so much so that she looks more dead than alive. Charles Addam had kept her name Morticia from the word mortician, which means death. Morticia is a sophisticated woman who cuts rosebuds to keep the stem as decoration. She's musically inclined and loves to strum a shamisen. She spends time feeding her African strangler, Cleopatra, a carnivore plant, or luring her husband by speaking French or any language. Morticia and Gomez share an unbreakable bond, which is sometimes a little too gross to see.
Quick! Out this way!
Pugsley Adams. Pugsley. What do you say about this short criminal? He is the partner in the crime of mischief by Wednesday in most variations of this iconic family's movies. During the start of the Addam family, Pugsley was the eldest child of the Addam family, but over the years, Pugsley became the younger brother of Wednesday Addams. By the way guys, did you know that Pugsley was unnamed? The only prototype that Charles Addam had created was that he ate over 5 pieces of cake at birthday parties. While he was being named, makers decided to use Pubert as it reflected the stage he was in, which was puberty, but later rejected this name as it sounded too sexual. The name later decided was Pugsley, which remained throughout all the shows and series. Pubert was used once on screen on Addams Family Values when Gomez and Morticia had a baby. Pugsley, at the very start of the original Addams Family series, was a much more pleasant and innovative character. He had insane engineering skills and invented many things like anti-gravity guns, disintegrator guns, etc. Pugsley and his sister Wednesday are fascinated by frightening objects such as dynamite and spiders. He has a pet octopus named Aristotle, and he distinguishes himself from other children by playing in a municipal park pond. While most toy boats are released, Pugsley chooses unusual options, such as submarines, leaking oil tankers, and rafts containing castaways. Over the series, Pugsley becomes increasingly daft. Played by Jimmy Workman in the movie The Addams Family, and its sequel, Addams Family Values, has a very different persona than the original TV series. He is noticeably less bright in these versions, and he frequently finds himself unwittingly engaged in his sister Wednesday's devious and sometimes fatal plots. Wednesday occasionally attempts to harm Pugsley, and he occasionally responds. It's also worth noticing that Pugsley appears to be younger than Wednesday in these flicks. Pugsley and Wednesday set up a lemonade stand in one classic scene from the movie. Their lemonade, on the other hand, isn't your ordinary thirst quencher. Instead, it turns out to be toxic, resulting in a hilarious episode in which Lurch, the family's butler, mistakenly consumes it and exhales flames. Pugsley dresses up as Fester for Halloween in a comic twist at the end of the first film, giving an extra dimension of weirdness to his character in these film versions of the Addams family. Wednesday Adams. Wednesday Adams, as we know, is one of the most likable characters in 2022 thanks to the series Wednesday that appeared on Netflix. But Wednesday has been one of our favorite characters for way too long. Since the 1930s, she has appeared in a variety of media, ranging from cartoons to live-action films. Her character has evolved because of these various adaptations. Let's look at a few of her character's development in these iconic movies. In the Addams Family original TV series, Wednesday is a happier character than her New Yorker cartoon counterpart. She is pleasant and enjoys activities such as spider breeding and ballet practice. Imagine Wednesday of 2022 enjoying ballet. She'd probably hand the task over to Enid. Anyway, despite her preoccupation with darker themes such as the macabre, she maintains a more pleasant disposition. She is presented as younger, around 6 years old in the TV series. In one of the latest Scooby-Doo episodes, Wednesday crosses paths with Scooby-Doo. She is courteous and even assists Mystery Incorporated, the new housekeeper, with settling the household. When her character goes missing in the episode, she becomes the target of a search, which leads to an adventure with Mystery Inc. Wednesday's character in the 1991 film adaptation is more closely aligned with the original cartoons. She has cruel inclinations and a gloomy disposition, as well as a strong interest in the macabre. This Wednesday is more like the original figure created by Charles Adams. She has a significant role in the plot of the film, including a famous attempt to electrocute her brother Pugsley during a game. Wednesday's demeanor becomes much darker in the sequel, Addams Family Values 1993, when she attempts to hurt her younger brother Pubert and causes chaos at Camp Chippewa. This series focuses on her mischievous and dark side, particularly when she tries to murder Pubert because she believes that one sibling must die when a new baby is born. In an animated short film, Wednesday is portrayed as a youthful, rebellious character who makes an unusual connection with a girl named Parker. In the town of Assimilation, her character embarks on a voyage of self-discovery and confronts conventional standards, bringing forth a new flavor to Wednesday as a character. Coming to the latest show of Wednesday on Netflix, played by Jenna Ortega, we see this Wednesday align more with the original series, but not necessarily evil. Instead, she pretends to be evil. Wednesday is seen as a teen with psychic talents who is expelled from her former school for attempting to harm her brother's bullies. She arrives at Nevermore Academy and becomes involved in various mysteries while dealing with her psychic abilities and finding new friends. Wednesday, in this version, has a solid link to the occult and a grim family past. Wednesday's personality has developed over time from a sweet-natured child in the original TV series to a dark and rebellious adolescent in more recent incarnations. Her love for the macabre and her unusual familial background has remained persistent throughout her different depictions. Still, her attitude and age have aged to suit the storyline and tone of each adaptation.
You are the key.
Goody Adams. Goody Adams, a character in Netflix's Wednesday series, is the ancestor of Wednesday from the 1600s. In her story, Mary was accused of witchcraft by the merciless Joseph Crackstone, who ordered her and other outcasts, including her mother, to be burned. Crackstone is the local leader, as we know, who was worshipped with time, but back then, he was nothing but racist. This tragic experience fueled Goody's desire for vengeance against Crackstone. When Goody finds the Nightshade Society, a hidden society dedicated to bringing peace to outcasts and normies while striving for equality, her quest turns supernatural. She can use curses, necromancy, and witchcraft, making her a formidable force in the series. Goody resembles her descendant Wednesday Adams with filthy blonde hair and a taste for light blue corsets and gowns. Despite being a ghost, her personality is a mix of fierceness, warmth, and a strong desire for vengeance. Much of the series' tension is driven by her ongoing battle with Crackstone, who has caused enormous agony. To end with, Goody Adams' character development, driven by vengeance and propelled by supernatural powers, gives dimension to the Wednesday series.
My Uncle Fester.
That's my
Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester, the eccentric, bald member of the Addams family, has been through several iterations. He was Morticia's uncle in the original 1960s sitcom, which later renditions presented him as Gomez's older brother. He has a remarkable ability to generate electricity, which he frequently demonstrates by lighting a bulb in his mouth. Uncle Fester's youth was defined by rigorous punishment and a strange fascination with self-inflicted pain, which he often sought relief from by tightening a screw press around his skull. He's known for unusual hobbies such as blowing up, getting migraines, and even growing flowers from his head. He's the family's true oddity, both endearing and strange. In the 1991 film The Addams Family, his character returns after being stranded in the Bermuda Triangle and is subsequently described as Gomez's long-lost brother. Uncle Fester's journey continues in the 2019 animated film and beyond, demonstrating his enduring eccentricity and love for family. He takes on a new duty as the narrator in the Broadway musical, assisting Wednesday in finding love. Uncle Fester's persona, despite modifications, remains a cherished and distinct member of the Addams family, with his unusual abilities and taste for the odd.
Whoopla! Tickets, please.
Wow, this place is...
Grandmama. Grandmama, the enigmatic matriarch of the Addams family, has always been an intriguing figure in many renditions. She is well known for her interest in everything occult, such as potion making, spells, and hexes. Grandmama's portrayal has taken some unexpected turns over the years. She is Gomez's mother in the 1960 series and frequently participates in mischief with Uncle Fester. Her wild curly hair and unique clothing help her stand out. Her ancestors are a mystery as she is of French and Spanish descent. In the 1991 picture, she has already died and has been replaced by Granny Frump. Her legacy, however, goes on. She returns in the 2019 animated picture, caught up in the craziness of Pugsley's mazurka preparations and even holding feelings for Lurch. Grandmama's character has retained her unusual sense of humor and curiosity about the occult throughout various renditions. Her changing role in the Addams family adds new facets to her fascinating personality.
Thank you, Lurch.
Lurch. Lurch, the Addams family renowned butler, is recognized for his commanding presence and deep, resonant voice. Lurch's character has remained similar across multiple versions. Lurch's principal duty is that of a devoted butler who is always at the Addams family's disposal. He may not be the best butler in the traditional sense, but his devotion and loyalty are steadfast. The family regards him as a bit of a prankster, frequently finding amusement in his moans and solemn demeanor. He is described as eloquent and energetic, having a certain appeal. His past and first name are commonly hidden, adding to the mystery. In several renditions, he is shown to be close with the Thing and Wednesday's best friend, displaying a paternal fondness for them. While Lurch's demeanor doesn't change much, his constant presence and persistent allegiance makes him a vital and valued element of the Addams family's strange world. Thing. You may be aware of the sign, "Beware of the Thing" board outside Adams' mansion, which created quite an impact and highlighted the satirical bounds of the Addam family. Thing is an animated severed hand, frequently depicted as a helpful and charismatic companion in the Addams family. Its beginnings are unknown, and whether it was once a component of a human body or a separate entity is never entirely explained. Thing communicates through emotions such as snapping fingers or utilizing Morse code, despite its lack of voice. Thing serves various functions in the Addams home, including mail retrieval, knitting assistance for Morticia, lighting Gomez's cigars, and even changing records on the turntable during their tango dances. It is an essential part of the household, and Morticia constantly expresses her gratitude courteously. Why, thank you, Thing. Thing's character grows significantly in the Netflix series Wednesday, forming close ties with family members and friends and eventually becoming a maternal figure for Enid and Tyler. Thing is a valued and distinctive component of the Addams family's intriguing universe due to its kind, attentive, and occasionally observant character, as well as its moments of laughter and surprise. Cousin It. Cousin It is this broom-like faced quirky cousin of the Addam family. He doesn't live with them, but has a room in the attic, which he uses whenever he visits. The background of Cousin It is quite mysterious. He was just a prototype like most of the Addam family in the 1930s. No one besides the Addam family can understand him, and no one knows why. Some fans suggest that it may be because his face is covered by hair, but many think he is inherently someone who doesn't speak in words, but in sounds. Morticia and Gomez teach him to speak in an understandable voice in one of the sitcom episodes. Cousin It loved his three-wheeled car, a Messerschmitt KR-175, maybe a little more than he loved hanging out in the chimney of the Addams mansion. It worked for the US government as a strong super spy known as Agent 00 It in the second animated series. He was unfortunately explored less before this. In this series, it was also the commander of a biker gang known as the Hair Curlers, giving his character a little depth. This lovely character has had minimum screen time or comic time in the Addams family world. Still, his quirky presence and comedy in this satirical show were impactful, and we surely hope the makers consider bringing him back to life soon. Marvelous verdict. To conclude, the Addams Family is a satirical iconic group of oddball characters that do not just hook up with us and remain, but open us to a change in our views. Each family member has a distinct and appealing presence, refreshing us from our daily monotony. From Gomez's quirky charm to Morticia's gothic elegance, Pugsley and Wednesday's antics, Uncle Fester's electrifying humor, Grandmama's occult interests, Lurch's solemn yet endearing butler duties, Thing's helpfulness and spirit, and Cousin It's enigmatic hair-covered charm, they all play a pivotal role in creating the dark, comedic, and heartwarming world of the Addams Family. These characters have changed throughout time, adding new facets to their fascinating personalities while retaining the fundamental essence that fans enjoy. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone,